Welcome back to Mortal Kombat Armageddon. So, yeah.
What are you looking at, Shang Tsung?
To Liu Kang, clearly. Oh, a Wii training video. Hey guys, let's learn how to play Mortal Kombat with the Wiimote. That should be fun.
Oh,
so Ed, by all means, explain to us, how do we play Mortal Kombat Armageddon with the Wiimote?
You don't.
Supernatural special moves have always played a big part in Mortal Kombat. From Liu Kang's Fireball, Scorpion's Spear, and Raiden's Teleport, learning these super moves was essential in becoming a great Mortal Kombat fighter. Now with the Wii's unique controls, performing these super moves has never been easier. With simple gestures like these, you'll quickly discover how intuitive it is to throw fireballs.
I find that very unlikely, Ed.
I mean, it's possible, but I just wonder how they went about doing it.
Even puking has never been so easy. The key to pulling
I mean, I do at the very least respect the fact that he at the very least tried to use the Wii's capabilities in some kind of way.
Honestly, it probably.
Can you even imagine? I'm actually more honestly interested to what the Nintendo consultant, probably Reggie, had to actually endure in seeing for quality control at Midway. He actually had to go in and make sure they actually used it in a correct way or something, and to see, oh my god, we actually assigned it to the puking function.
I mean, again, if you you can always just play with the classic or GameCube controller anyway, so it's not like it's forced on you. Like, so at the very least, it's fine. And again, like I said, okay, I never actually tried it myself.
The way they did use the Wii Remote does seem to be relatively fine and intuitive.
I never actually tried it myself, so I don't know if the controls work as well as Ed is making them seem here. But yeah, if it works as shown in this video, yeah, I guess it's technically fine.
You can see
from what I recall, there was not really any big backlash against the Wii controls.
It's more of a case people just ignored it, Jova. That's pretty much it.
Well, I do wonder, I do think, like, well, if it was actively bad, there would have definitely been a good amount of outcry, even if those were optional, because let's be honest, it should be well done, all the same. Like, even if it is optional, that's not an excuse, you know, against it being bad.
You can also see that Ed is trying to replicate the actual movement that you have to perform on an actual arcade stick for some of the special moves.
All fatality moves are performed with various combinations of the Wii Remote and Nunchuck. The best way to learn
yes, create your own fatality, which leads to them being relatively generic because it's more or less everyone getting the same.
Basically, yeah. This was a terrible idea, and it's fortunately it stopped. It basically ceased to exist after this game.
Like, I mean, it's kind of easy to see why.
Definitely. Well, okay, so that I thought that would show that because I think it's cute and fun.
Yeah,
so why not, right? Okay, here we are.
The Scorpion's the first one there.
The arcade mode. Well, the canonical winner is Shao Kahn, so let's go Shao Kahn.
So which do you like better, the case where Taven wins or the case where Shao Kahn wins?
Where Shao Kahn wins, because Shao Kahn is a far more awesome character.
yeah. That's not inaccurate.
Especially when he's voiced by Steve Ritchie. Don't get me wrong, I love Fred Shuri, who doesn't? But I mean, Steve Ritchie, man, like his voice. There's a reason why when people reference the fatality, they always mimic Steve Ritchie's performance in 2 and 3 because it's just that iconic.
Oh boy, guys, Shao Kahn's about to kill Kung Lao again, or for the first time.
Well, I get used to this because this kind of
things do not improve that much on that front in the new timeline.
Well, that's why I said. Well, that's why I said for the first time.
Well, I think you're gonna like Battle of the Realms take on the reboot on Mortal Kombat 9's events because they end on a more happy note compared to.
Yeah, well, we already established with Scorpion's Revenge that things end on a different note anyway than they did. You know?
Right. If I understand correctly, Battle of the Realms, while based off of Mortal Kombat 2, will be taking into account
Yeah. Well, if you want to get technical, it's more based on Mortal Kombat 9, as in the events of 2, and 3, as told by Mortal Kombat 9, basically. Here's the thing, Taylor. If we go back to Scorpion's Revenge, Scorpion's Revenge had a more bittersweet ending than anything because.
Yes, actually, yes.
Honestly, Scorpion's Revenge felt like a relatively good ending as opposed to bittersweet.
It left ambiguous if Scorpion actually died in the debris of Shang Tsung Island or not, but we all knew he was going to survive. It's just a matter of the way the movie presents it, of course.
Well, remember, Jova, in Scorpion's Revenge, Liu Kang fails to defeat Goro, which was something
that's true too.
Well, to be fair, they do pretty much say, but you've got a greater destiny ahead of you. Speaking of which...
honestly, Jova, I was considering how Raiden gets proven wrong time and time again in the movie. I kind of was thinking he was trying to save face with Liu Kang.
Well, okay.
I think you're really gonna like Raiden in the new movie too. It's pretty.
That's the thing that a lot of people said about Scorpion Revenge, but I personally don't care. But I see where a couple coming from the fact that in order to make complete the teacher's Revenge of Scorpion, the staples of Raiden being the mentor figure and Liu Kang being the destined hero have to actually take a step down, and as a result, they make this character appear kind of like naive fools.
I will say this, that, so long as Battle of the Realms actually lets Liu Kang have his moment,
it does.
At you, Ed
Boon. Don't you worry, Jova. Liu Kang is the one that... Liu Kang gets all the glory in Battle of the Realms.
You're fine. We might have taken what they just said into account in making Battle of the Realms.
Okay. In that case, I'm willing to give Scorpion's Revenge some leeway because, well, let's be honest. Originally, also, you gotta love how there's literally a battle that takes place in the subway.
This is the subway from 3. This is the subway from MK3. All of the arenas from the original Mortal Kombat games are back for the first time rather than 3D, which is cool.
Jeez. So not only is everyone back, everything is back too.
Chang, stop playing possum.
Still, though, imagine this being the epic finale showdown between Shang Tsung and Shao Kahn in a subway promoting Johnny Cage merchandise and movies.
All aboard the Midnight Meat Train.
The only compromise is that we have to replace Boone and Tobias with North and South because we can't use John Tobias' name without him being involved.
Yeah.
So.
Alright, yeah, but anyway though, I'm willing to give the Scorpion's Revenge movie some leeway in the sense that, don't get me wrong, the first Mortal Kombat, whether original or by Mortal Kombat 9 things, is kind of a standard story. And some could argue it does add some nuance if Liu Kang isn't immediately the hero here and there. That said, I do hope that the movie universe, we're calling it the movie universe, right?
Might as well.
The animated. Call it the Mortal Kombat. The animated movie verse.
Because action-wise, we have the new movie that came out this year.
Yeah.
I do hope that the animated movie verse doesn't fall into, well, either the reboot or original timeline's problems of, well, just taking Liu Kang down the wrong kind of pegs. Look, don't get me wrong. I get that it might be boring to just have Liu Kang constantly be the hero, but if you really are tired of that, just don't do something stupid like have all that terrible stuff happen to him because screw you, hero! Turns out it was all for nothing, or you are just too goody-goody, so you have to die in a horrific manner.
Hey, Bihan. How you doing?
Okay, look. If they just want to move away from Liu Kang being the protagonist, just retire the character.
Yeah.
Don't, put him through the crapper.
They ultimately go through something in 11 with Liu Kang, but it is true that in
the road to get there was...
It's harsh. It's harsh. I can understand that, but...
and I do get the feeling that the only reason they did goodbye him in 11 was because of the backlash people had towards his thing.
Jova, it might, but the way it's constructed, in 11, it gets the idea that it wants to have a bigger scope, even from this original timeline, and even the every single Mortal Kombat media ever, you know, even the more stupid shit like the Defenders of Realm cartoon, you know, it tries to encompass that and to make it worth it in the end, you know. So if that's supposed to be an apology letter, I'm perfectly okay with that. To be honest.
It being an apology letter is not a... That's not a problem for me in that sense. What I'm saying is, like, well, I do get the feeling that, you know, it was more so about them realizing, oh crap, we're doing kind of a similar problem to what we did in the original timeline. Let's try and fix that.
In the meantime, well, since you guys have brought that up, actually, according to an industry analyst, apparently Mortal Kombat 12 apparently is of a higher priority over Injustice 3.
Yeah, I saw that news too.
Wait, hold on. Repeat that. What about Injustice 3?
Suppose, just a rumor, Jova, but supposedly, in the interest of NetherRealm Software and Warner Bros., they might be developing Mortal Kombat 12 before Injustice 3.
Yeah, that doesn't really surprise.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Really surprise me, given the anticipation for Mortal Kombat.
And considering 11, if I recall correctly, has set a new record for your unit to solve.
It's the highest selling game in the series. So yeah, most likely Warner Brothers said, "Okay, get making 12 right now." So
wait. You know, come to think of it, didn't 11 come out before Injustice 2?
No. Remember,
you're thinking of 10.
Ever since the acquisition, Jova, the pattern has been a Mortal Kombat game, an Injustice game.
Injustice 1 came out after 9.
Then MKX, then Injustice 2, and then MK11.
Yeah.
And remember, Jova, MK11 was like released at record time because it was announced fast lane at the Game Awards of 2019. No, or 2018, I forgot precisely when. And then released April of the year after.
Well, that's the thing too. When did Injustice 2 come out?
Before, and I think it was 2017, but just...
Well, yeah, in that case, you can just assume it started development around that time already. It's just that it didn't get announced until 2019.
2017, there you go.
So there you go.
Oh, wow.
Well, remember, by the time they got around to making 11, they already had an engine in place, so it's not like it would take that much time to make a follow-up.
It was still... Well, remember, Injustice 2 also had to go through a lot of kinks because of those facial models.
It's weird. In some ways, it feels like Injustice 2 was more recent than Mortal Kombat 11 for some reason.
But
I don't know. Maybe it's because Injustice 2 didn't get as much cool DLC as 11
actually
did.
It did, Drova. Like, it got 3 ways.
Look.
A lot of...
We're fighting Taven.
Oh, hey, the new badass protagonist that was totally gonna be a hit.
Just stand still so the hammer can hit you better.
Yeah.
But no, Java, remember, actually a lot of people were actually okay with even the guests that Injustice 2 received, including Hellboy and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for some reason.
Oh, right, and I think... no. Rambo was Mortal Kombat.
No, Mortal was MK11. They even got Robert Englund to voice, the Scarecrow for some reason.
Get it?
I don't understand why, but it just...
I get why. Well, Tio, it's kind of obvious. As of the Arkham games, Scarecrow pretty much more or less became Freddy Krueger, right down to the nails and everything.
I suppose. Well, as a side note, instead, for my country's version, because starting with MKX, we started upping up the ante with the voice acting. All the characters from the DC universe who were at a voice actor in the Arkham game get their role reprised, with no recasting whatsoever. So there's a huge sense of consistency with the characters, and it's very enjoyable to actually play Injustice 2 with Italian dub.
From what I can recall of Injustice 2, folks went gaga over how great the gameplay and the customization of characters.
And also the roster in general. The story
was apparently the main bout of criticism.
Okay, it's much like we already discussed this, but again, Joe, to sum it up, it's okay for the most part. Nosedive at the end, the usual shtick.
Also, the fact that it doubles down on the evil Superman, except now we don't even have good
like you said, Joe, also forget about Superman. Fucking Wonder Woman is the worst character of the Injustice games. And keep in mind, right now in DC is actually making an animated direct-to-video movie based on the game. So we'll have to see how that turned out.
Well, okay. Because to me, the worst Wonder Woman has ever been written in comics that I've read, at least, of course, obviously,
is it's not Frank Miller tier. She's not going around telling everyone sperm bank or something. I can tell that, Pedro.
All right,
however, she's incredibly out of character. She becomes basically evil because she falls in love with Superman, and she's not being controlled or, you know, possessed by a spirit. No, she acts of her own free will.
You know, DC writer. Hey, DC writers, you are aware that Diana... What?
Pedro, you yourself said it. The main writer of Injustice is still John Vogel.
No, I get that too. I don't.
That's not really a DC writers thing in that regard. But anyway,
no, but that's not what I was trying to say, though. Can I finish what I was trying to say? You know, DC writers, Wonder Woman already has a love interest. You don't need to pair her up with Superman. She already has a love interest. Just saying.
Are you talking to DC writers on?
Well, you know, remember DC writers love pairing her up with Superman in the comics for some reason.
Not these days. If anything, that's only been Frank Miller.
Back in my day was kind of the problem there. But
okay. The one time I saw that work was in Kingdom Come, which was an Elseworld story.
Kingdom Come feels more like, pardon the involuntary pun considering the characters involved, more like lightning in a bottle scenario, because there are countless stories like that came before and after that tried to, you know, reach their kind of status and never managed to do it.
You want to know what's ironic? I actually consider Kingdom Come to be the good version of what Injustice would be like. Well, because, hey, yeah, like an Injustice, Lois actually ends up dying because of some tomfoolery from the Joker.
There you go.
You know what's different?
Shao Kahn defeats Onaga. There you go. We can have
which
this.
Only remains Blaze.
So there you go. Now we defeated the Deception antagonist. Now time for the final antagonist, Blaze. There you go. See, we get to see Shao Kahn beat the crap out of Onaga. There you go.
Well, I mean, hey. Oh my God! Wait. Now, come to think of it, does this mean that his arcade thing from 6 was actually canon, where he was actually the smartest guy in the room and just decided to send a fake version of himself to be supposedly killed all the way back in 5? And it turns out he's been planning this all along?
Well, yeah, that's
a small amount of tomfoolery.
Well, that's the thing. Well, yeah, considering we already know from MK9's opening that, yes, that Shao Kahn is triumphant and alive at the end of this, so yeah, it probably would have to be, yeah.
You know, I actually kind of dig that, honestly. Like, you know, everyone thinking that he's just some brute, but no, in reality, he was the smartest man.
Well, Jova, he didn't become the ruler of so many realms for no reason, obviously.
Oh, I know, but if there's one thing I recall is that apparently around the time of 5, fans just saw him as a brute when all of these more magnificent and masterful villains were
more like
coming
a relic of a passage of outsmarted by newer villains and everything, you know?
So, yeah, I guess in a way making him canonically the winner is... Oh, that's quite a refresh. I'll give him that.
Well, it kind of. I'll actually argue it kind of works on a really good sense. Okay. You're gonna have a villain of Mortal Kombat actually properly win completely. Well, let's pick Shao Kahn. He's the most beloved and iconic of the villains. So there you go.
There we go.
Yeah. But yeah, like I was saying, the difference between Kingdom Come and Injustice is that Superman doesn't turn evil when Joker kills everyone. In fact, he does the exact opposite.
And Blaze explodes.
Oh.
Shao Kahn wins.
Things happened.
Well, we're gonna get the ending, or what passes for an ending at least.
Was no match for Shao Kahn the Conqueror.
Yeah, it was no match for Shao Kahn's sick moves.
The forces of Fate could not fend off.
You know, I could totally see a Mortal Kombat dance-off game.
You couldn't even get a budget for a fucking picture?
Well, maybe they could throw at you, but he's moving. That's an upgrade, right?
You know, Pedro, we also do have to consider maybe they just... You know, Pedro, we do have to consider maybe they just considered that this is what looked better.
That's just the thing, Teo. Sorry, finish.
I mean, again, maybe it wasn't the case of budget, but they thought, guys, it's 3D models doing all this stuff. this stuff looks cool.
Supposedly,
or maybe it's
yeah.
just how they wanted to show off all the work they put into all the moves.
Like I always
showing
say,
how it could look all wrong.
like I always say, less is more. The pictures in the previous games were minimalistic, yes, but they did a good job in conveying, a better job in conveying the endings rather than just we're literally being told what happens rather than being shown. I mean, the endings in the previous games were not full-blown cutscenes like in 4, but at the very least they showed us stuff. In here, we're not being shown anything. We're just being told what happens while the character prattles around in the arena.
The only reason I suggest this is because, okay, even with budget in mind, I doubt that a still picture would have added that much that they couldn't have. So I'm more to believe that this was just a choice that they made.
I'm just half expecting them to put freaking dance music over all this while it's going on.
Okay, Pedro, if you play as Blaze, who's the final boss then?
Mirror match.
Oh.
Different color.
Huh.
Well, it's a fighting game, so mirror match.
Well, I get that. It's just like, well, you know, as early as Mortal Kombat 2, I'm pretty sure even they at least gave an ending that explained why Shao Kahn was fighting Shao Kahn.
No, well... No, well, okay, what they did in Trilogy is that if you beat the game as Shao Kahn, they just have your generic, okay, Shao Kahn defeats everybody and just takes over everything and have a nice day.
No. I'm referring to Mortal Kombat 2 that actually had a funny explanation for why Shao Kahn was fighting Shao Kahn. Like, apparently his copy went out of control.
Part of that mod?
Yes. Yeah, to understand. Yeah, remember, Joe, but for that, I used the ROM hack that added Shao Kahn as a playable character because officially you cannot play as Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat 2. It's just that the fans made a special hack that allows you to play them, and they also created their own Shao Kahn ending, and they did actually go out of their way to explain why Shao Kahn is fighting Shao Kahn. But if you but if you play as Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat Trilogy, you fight you do a mirror match against Shao Kahn, obviously at the end, but the ending itself doesn't acknowledge the fact that you just defeated Shao Kahn as Shao Kahn. So.
Okay, apparently I kind of forgot the detail of that.
It's been a while, sure. It's a while, sure. No, but, whatever. Like, fighting games always have this thing where, mirror matches are very rarely acknowledged. Has there ever been a fighting game today where mirror matches are actually acknowledged by the plot?
Ironically enough,
there are a few.
Oh no, not technically plot-wise, but starting with MKX, where with the introduction with introductory banter between the character become apparent. When you perform a mirror match, the character discusses which is real and which is a copy or an alternate universe version of them. So the games after this start to play a bit of tongue-in-cheek with the concept, just not in a technical canonical way.
Sure, that works.
I know Injustice and Injustice 2 definitely have special interactions for when somebody is doing a mirror match.
No, Injustice 2, Jova. Injustice 1 only has one type of intro, which was one complaint that a lot of people had, which was the thing that started getting fixed starting with MKX.
It's also especially hard to care about any of these endings because we all know that none of this shit actually can even be considered canonical. Because up until this point, at least some endings would be canon. Like Reptile's ending in Deadly Alliance, for example. But we know that everybody dies at the end, so none of these endings are canon anyway, so it's basically just a waste of our time, really.
Okay. To be fair, considering how Shao Kahn's ending at the time of this game's release wasn't considered canon, but then was changed to being canon with Mortal Kombat 9, I guess at least with the time when this game came out, for all anyone knew, any of these endings could be canon, technically.
That's the thing, Jova. Remember, at the time of this release, supposedly the canonical winner was Taven. That being said, that's the thing, Jova. Like, right from the very beginning that this game was being marketed, Ed Boon never hid the fact that the idea behind this game was to basically kill everybody and start afresh, Even
the story mode is told that if Taven fails, Taven has to still win, just to make sure that whatever everything happens afterward will be done more effectively.
So yeah, like I still appreciate the idea of giving each character his own ending. But
some of these endings go by so quickly that I feel like I miss them just by blinking.
it's because, again, the endings in this game are very half-assed. They're just kind of... it's not even just the fact that you don't have pictures. It's just the actual content of the endings itself, like what we're actually being told. It's very... Okay, there you go. The powerful advance allowed the rest to finally defeat Otaru. Okay, but the items were meant only for my lineage. Okay, fine.
Again, Darius is has maybe a cool design, but as a character has always been completely wasted.
Yeah, like it's kind of hard to... Okay, maybe it's just because there's no pictures to go along with this, but I can't bring myself to care about any of these characters are saying because... I don't know, like, it really is a case of show, don't tell. Jesus.
When did this game come out? 2006?
2007 on the Wii.
I mean, you'd think by at this point, were Midway really in that much of financial peril?
Actually, Dwips, yes.
Yeah, they
were in serious trouble.
They were on the verges of bankruptcy.
If not the worst, if not the last, this was one of the last games that they ever.
Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe was yeah, Mortal Kombat vs. DC was going to be their last attempt at survival. Because that game bombed, so did the company.
Warner Bros. Went in for the taking.
Basically, imagine if Final Fantasy 1 was a commercial bomb. That's basically what happened.
Not just the Mortal Kombat AP drove. Warner Bros. Acquired pretty much everything from the Midway catalog.
Yeah,
that's why Traveler's Tales got forced to make all those Lego games because now they were working for Warner Bros.
Traveler's Tales were owned by Midway.
Were they?
No, but
I think
they fell into Warner Brothers after the Lego.
Yeah, I think Traveler's Tales was a separate purchase.
I thought, well, whatever. I still no, but Traveler's Tales did work for something on Midway, a couple of APs, including even Call of the King.
I can believe that.
Tales ever being owned by Midway. I feel like that was a separate purchase, like Pedro.
Let me check just to be sure. Also, another thing that I noticed. MK11 was still done with the Unreal 3 engine.
Well, most likely what happened was they had their engine and they were able to still do whatever progress they wanted with the engine, so they didn't see the need to rebuild the entire game with a different engine and thought it would be much more productive and efficient if they just used what was working. So I can understand that. Most likely what happens is Mortal Kombat 12 most likely will jump straight to Unreal 5, most likely.
Don't care.
Really? It doesn't look like he's looking for it to be.
Gee whips, it's like these endings should actually show us what they're saying or something.
Seriously, I mean, yeah, Mortal Kombat 4. The problem with that word that they had animated endings is that they were kind of hilariously bad.
Also, why is it that these people leave blood splatters wherever they step?
Because they stepped into the...
Depends on the character, Joe. Some do blood splatter, some do nothing. Blaze actually left, lava footprints.
Because
Havoc, though.
Because he's a cleric of chaos, I guess.
Like back in the day, too.
Why is Otaru doing it then?
Back in the day, Traveler's Tales made games for, like, for example, they made Crash...
Yeah, I was checking. No, okay.
They made Wrath of Cortex, so they weren't working exclusively for Midway, definitely not. So I'm pretty sure Traveler's Tales was a separate purchase. They were an independent company, and they were bought by Warner Bros. At some point.
Hotaru's second in command. Killed in the shockwave of
you.
Literally the character that nobody likes. Like, has he even come back in the reboot?
In the comics, at least. Remember, it was just a passing by, just to get killed by Scorpion, with his twisted catchphrase of saying, "Get out of here."
Yeah.
So deader than dead, got it.
Yeah, it's kind of like what they do with Stryker in Battle of the Realms. Don't worry, this doesn't spoil anything. Basically, if you want to see Stryker get brutally murdered, Battle of the Realms has got you covered.
Okay. Why is Jay leaving blood splatters again? I don't get why they're leaving blood splatters where they step. It's not like they're
It's
even.
weird. Some characters did not do that.
It's weird. I don't get it either.
were sucked inside the ancient structure.
Also, another thing that I forgot to mention, because, and I'm pretty sure that you know, the trailer alone was enough to suffice to say it. The newer Mortal Kombat direct-to-video animated movies, another thing that they have in their favor is actually very good animation, especially for, you know, direct-to-video.
Well, remember, Tail, the director of these two movies was a director for Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Okay,
so a lot of
that is true, Pedro, but that alone does not guarantee, you know, quality, the actual quality of the animation. You know,
I guess
just the way the scenes are actually constructed. Obviously, like the storyboarding, the actual animation process is
Wait. You're seriously telling me that Jarek, of all people, walloped Sub-Zero into submission?
Sure.
There you go, Dibs. Your favorite character finally gets some justice, I guess.
Oh, so he wins. So what? What does he do? Grabs hold of Jax's throat and repeats the same catchphrase back to him for revenge. No, Jax, this is a fatality. No.
I will say, I actually still do like this design of Jax with the red beret.
Yeah.
It's a nice touch. If it came back.
Customization-wise, the costume can be actually done in MK11, so there's that.
But more important, a new
it's just the Special Forces costume that cannot be used.
Basically, yeah.
Former life and became enlightened.
Uh-huh.
The heat of
Really? That's it?
No actual movie sequel to your franchise, Johnny.
into fiery blades of
Lame.
Yeah.
Crossing them above his head, Cabal challenged Lovato atop the pyramid, seeking to end their rivalry once and for all. In an epic hook sword battle.
But yeah, as I was mentioning, regardless of the person behind it, like, I think that I noticed is that a lot of direct-to-video stuff that Warner Bros. Is doing in terms of animation, particularly the DC stuff, is not managing to be super on par with the animation. There's always something missing, something incomplete, something that is not up to par. While instead, both of these MK products managed to be even more, to the point where I say they should have deserved an actual theatrical release.
He could see the one being's dreams from which all of reality is formed.
How nice.
Kai allowed his mind
Well, it's a shame nobody. Sorry, but nobody cares about Kai. So.
Alas.
Well, did Kai make a comeback in the reboots?
Probably still mentioned in the comics as well, but let me check just to be sure. No, actually, no, he hasn't been showed up in the new timeline.
Kenshin is the only one that was reused from 4. He was the best addition after all. So.
Process designed to transform humans into dragons. Kano escaped, however, before they could finish. Infused with godlike energy from Blaze, the process was rejuvenated.
Of course.
Kano was transformed into a black dragon human hybrid.
The process was rejuvenated?
Nice.
What the hell does that even mean?
I think you're a bit behind, Pedro.
Not only was his
Yeah, I probably am.
but he gained increased sensitivity.
Oh, wow. That sounds generic as hell.
Yeah, not just that, Java, it's the stereotype of the person who gets blinded, but of course he manages to still see thanks to the hyper-acuteness of the other senses. Shiro's favorite.
Chamber. On defeating Blaze, a
Wait, what?
Okay, I'm at 3415.
Okay,
Now
almost
we're in
there.
a different arena?
Background.
What? Why is that?
They ran out of budget to keep that platform in the air.
Yeah, what website?
Is there any reason for this, Pedro?
Hold on.
Alright, and go.
Thank you. I get it. Phoenix came around to check out what was happening, and he started thinking.
Still the top of the pyramid, Java. It's just that it's surrounded by darkness for some reason.
Like I said, Phoenix is thinking. Phoenix, stop thinking.
Is this supposed to be something for Kintaro's ending exclusively?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Okay, Phoenix.
Oh, there's a... I was about to
no, Cobra was slain. How will I ever
I think you mentioned somewhere else. Honestly, Kira and Cobra, you know, the new recruit from the Black Dragon who want to make a name for themselves and want to backstab each other so badly, they could potentially actually fit, our MK media.
So even in Kira's winning one, she dies because Cobra doesn't appreciate that she saved his life, and
that's
then
the thing, Joe. That's the thing, Joe. It's pretty much clear that here in Cobra are characters that not the team doesn't like, so they decide to actually, you know, have ways on them.
How dare you save my life?
So what?
What was that line from that NST3K review? Sorry, commentary that they did. How dare for you to be kind to me?
So what? Does this mean that in Cobra's ending,
Lee
he's
May.
gonna save Kira's life? And
Oh, there you go.
Well, you're about to see, Jova.
There you go, Teo. This is the closest thing you'll have of to Lee May being given some kind of respect. In Kitana's ending, she, Sonya, Sindel, and Jade form an all-female fighting force to protect
Cobra
the realms and
becomes the
shit.
Lord of the Realms.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sorry, Tia. What was that about? Wait. Hold on. He chose. Okay.
Okay, so in Cobra's ending, Kira gets to live, so that's something.
He's concubine.
Oh wait, and then she extinguishes life force.
So as you can see, Joe, they backstab each other if they want to.
Karma, I guess.
It's a bitch.
Yep. Oh yeah. Speaking of Lee May is also in Battle of the Realms. However, she gets quickly, brutally killed by Sonya. So
I forget. Was Lee May a character people didn't care for?
Yeah. Not in the sense we hate her. She's just very bland. And in all games she appears, the outcome of her actions is so unnecessarily tragic.
So what you're saying is that was a mercy kill.
Kinda.
Speaking of Lee May, oh my God, Lee May actually got to win at something.
Yay!
In an endless boss rush.
Yeah, that's basically the most
there you go. They even say it. There you go, Joe. They even say justice has finally been done. There you go.
Oh, Liu Kang.
There you go. As always, his ending is that he gets his body and life back, basically.
Liu Kang reluctantly defeated his mentor in an epic clash.
Boy, wouldn't that have been nice to have Wouldn't that have been nice to actually play instead of just being told about?
Again.
Okay. Yeah, okay, you know what? That does seem like a pretty interesting end to Liu Kang's journey, though,
Also,
being the new protector of Earth.
You can tell that Mavado's design in this game tries to be way too cool for its own good, because it has like the half of a jacket without the other part of his on his left arm.
Also, Jova.
Asymmetrical design.
And it's partially cool to me, particularly the color balance, but it feels more impractical than anything.
Also, Jova, well, yeah, that is pretty much what why they created the Fire God Liu Kang plot point, where he becomes basically the new protector of Elfrealm, really.
Okay. Now, a character like me, I get why he's leaving bloody footsteps, but everyone else does not make sense. Back to you, Pedro.
Well, yeah, like I said, that's the reason why they created the Fire God Liu Kang plot line at the end of 11, because there you go. That's basically what happened. He became the new protector of Earthrealm, basically. Yeah. Hey, Melina.
Not really feeling this design for us.
Yeah, if there's one thing, if there was one thing that I will say about Battle of the Realms is that I was a bit disappointed that we didn't get Melina anywhere. It would have been really cool to see Melina chew on someone's body with that animation, but no.
I guess maybe they're saving her for a third move. Well, okay, does Battle of the Realms have a sequel hook?
Well, okay, they leave the door open for a sequel, but they don't have the sequel hook that the first movie had.
And from what you tell me, Battle of the Realms already
That being said,
MK2 and 3.
That being said, if the third animated film is going to cover the events of 11, then yeah, they can insert Melina in there.
Or they do their own original take.
Yeah. I actually do think Teal may be onto something. I think it might just be best for them to try and do their own thing.
After all,
from
it's
this
an alternate universe anyway. Might as well, keep going with diverging.
Sure.
And given how the reboot trilogy is, well, just a trilogy, there's only so much they can take from it. That said, though, yeah, hearing that there's a lack of Melina in it, that is disappointing. Like, I'm wondering, does, like, Modern NetherRealm have something against her? Because I remember the whole them going on about, don't expect her to be in Mortal Kombat 11, to the point where fans had to give...
Well, remember, they did add her as a DLC. Well, to their credit, they did add her as a DLC character.
Well, yeah, to be fair, but that was only after the immense amount of backlash that fans got that got them to backtrack.
Okay. To be fair, she was involved in the plot line of 9 and 10. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I'm a Melina fan as well, but at the same time...
she actively dies in the plotline of 10, so I get... If brought back, we will have to find a plot excuse for that.
You mean like the plot excuse of 11, which literally brought back a lot of people who died?
Well, yeah, Mortal Kombat does that all the time anyway. It always has, so it's not like that's anything new.
Let's be honest. Death is not sacred in the Mortal Kombat universe by any means.
No, but the new timeline did establish new rules. There's Nitara. But at least Melina actually eventually got added. Staples like Reptile were never to be seen for some reason.
I guess because there wasn't as much people asking for him?
That's kind of bullshit. Reptile has been unstable since the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Has he been as popular with the fans?
Yes.
Yes, actually.
Huh.
Okay.
Has he shown up at all in the reboot trilogy?
Yes. Yes.
Like I said, a staple since the beginning, Jova. He appeared in every single game.
Maybe my guess, maybe there were requests to bring him back, but they weren't nearly as thunderous as the demands for Melina to come back. And I can sort of get why there would have been more demand for Melina.
Which brings me to the other point, Jova. Maybe we could have spared away one or two of the extras in favor of more, veterans.
Yeah.
Like I could have actually lived without Rambo. Not that he's technically a bad character or anything, but I could have preferred an actual veteran that people requested than a guest character. I get it that Warner Bros. Gets money, sponsorship, and everything, but still.
I do get the feeling that a lot of the reason people were upset that Melina was dead was because, well, didn't really get to see so much action between her being under Shao Kahn's rule and all that. Like,
to be fair,
a bit here and there, but otherwise she's kind of on her lonesome in 10, and then, well, dies in kind of a unremarkable fashion, if I'm to be honest. Which was a bit of a shame. Again, it's about that the reboot trilogy, while definitely a vast improvement story-wise, did fall into a bit of trappings itself, which, again, ironically made it even more of a mess in a shorter amount of time than the original timeline, to the point where, oh, here we are again, rebooting the timeline.
In his arrogance, Quan Chi ascended from Edenia to
did you want to say something, Pedro?
No, I'm fine.
With the elder gods at my side.
Babes, you've been quiet a lot. Anything else to say on the matter of things?
Well, to be honest, at this point in the series, I can see why they rebooted it.
Yeah.
I mean, not only were Midway in a bit of trouble, did this game even do well in the sales?
It did decently, but definitely not enough.
Yeah, I can see why they wanted to change it in that case, because I mean there was a lot of continuity for too few people to buy. So starting over again, I mean, yeah, it meant a change in studio, but I think it was worth it in the end.
It was probably for the best, because Midway were a terrible publisher to work under at the time.
It also didn't help that Midway very little there were very little in terms of re-releases of the classic games at the time. Most of the time, the only re-releases you would have is as bonus features. For example, in this option, you can play Mortal Kombat 2. In Mortal Kombat Armageddon, you can unlock Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 as an extra. But they were never re-released like as a package, an actual properly marketed package of re-releases. No, they were just little unannounced extras in the main games. So only Mortal Kombat fans really knew about these re-releases for the most part. So as a result, newcomers would be very reluctant to pick up a game like this because, well, you know, there's way too much continuity that they would have to catch up without even knowing where to start in terms of catching up. So.
The pyramid on which reptiles stood began to crack.
Well, and while I'm at it, by the way, while on that topic, by the way, Warner Brothers, you might also want to get some kind of team, not necessarily NetherRealm, but you might also get some kind of studio to make a remaster of 9 for you, because 9 is on Steam, yes, but 9 hasn't been re-released on the newer consoles. You might want to get on that as well. So.
Had dissipated, but the power he had released flowed into Serena.
You know, there's just something different about not being able to actually see even a picture of what these endings propose.
You see?
It's also because you're probably seeing them hearing them for the first time in quick succession. I get the idea that if it was more like separate back to back, or you after beating the actual arcade mode, you will have more time to digest them.
Well, I mean, it's not just that. It's like, well, I mean, okay, look, even with previous stuff, I saw them in quick succession, but they left more of an impact on me. I mean, granted, look, if this were like, you know, a much older game, I totally get doing something like this and leaving it up more to us to imagine. But man, doing it at this point just feels so lame. Hey, Scorpion got him back. Oh, but Quan Chi suddenly showed up.
Of course, history repeats itself.
Again?
Haha! Once again, once again, Scorpion and Quan Chi's rivalry continues.
But hey, at least he's got his wife back. Like, okay, I do have some bout to digest some of these. I'll admit, I kind of do miss some of them because it feels like if I just blink, they'll be over. But honestly, I do feel like Pedro does have a bit of a point that at least including one picture would have gone so much a better way. Or who knows, maybe it's just because it was series tradition up to that point, so I'm more used to it than, well, this. What are your thoughts on the matter to you?
Well, can you be more specific with that question?
What are your thoughts on these endings and their presentation?
I already told, like, again, sure, we're still missing the steals, and I agree, but, you know, what they tell for the actual conclusion, they're fine, you know.
My problem is that, again, we're told this instead of actually shown, and that's a big no-no in storytelling.
I feel like some endings range from fine to just crap, and that's not just because of the lack of pictures, but some feel like way too abrupt for what's supposed to be, as far as we know, these characters' grand finale.
Also, Shiva's sporting a very strong tan, by the way. I mean, not that I have an issue with it, it's just interesting. Because remember how she looked in Free, you know? So, been to the beach a lot, Shiva?
For some reason, people like to suggest that the more muscular you get, the tanner you get.
I don't think the Shoguns work that way. Let me check comparisons.
Okay, obviously, but what I'm saying is, like, well, it seems to be a weird thing in media that suggests that the more muscles you get, the more tanned you get. What?
He sent Dagon's. Yeah, they're talking about how he used Dagon.
Oh my god.
I'm not a god of my word, Dagon. All deals are off.
That sounds like some of those fortune cookie boys.
Oh, hey! So let's see what his ending is.
Of course.
Of course it did.
Shujinko went mad.
Oh my god.
He would challenge the elder gods for control.
So Shinjinko really can't do anything right.
Nope. Well, that's Shujinko. And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mortal Kombat. What stupid shit will Shujinko do next? Come and see.
Track not included. Yeah, I was checking comparisons between the original artwork by John Tobias and the official rendering for this game, and yeah, Shiva, and even for other different games, Shiva's color scheme is super inconsistent between each game.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If she wants to support her 10, by all means, I have no issue with that.
Or more like the team can choose, a consistent one. Just stick with it.
Sure.
Maybe she got a tan from being dead.
Maybe what they did is to. Well, actually, remind me. Could you tell me? I'm curious. Could you tell me who voices Shiva? In the reboot trilogy, if it's consistent at all, I don't even know if it's the same for free.
No, it's not. But let me check just to be sure in the meantime.
Well, actually, no. Shiva actually looks the same as she does in 3 in 9, so I guess no, technically won't apply. Never mind.
11 that has a complete new design out of nowhere.
Yeah. Could you check who voices her in 11?
I'm checking. Give me a second.
Because
of course, Sonya absolutely murdered them.
Well, yeah.
All for a new era of peace.
A striker.
Through his soul inspired him to fight injustice on his own terms. No longer would he allow himself to be confined by the law.
Oh joy!
The shadows, a vigilante who would show
he becomes literally the fixer from Holy Terror.
Brilliant.
He's such a gentle soul.
Soon all the realms will know the name.
And he used his actual name as the Vigilante, you dingus! That's your secret identity
so
out
I
there.
guess he doesn't give a fuck anymore. Anyway, let me see.
Like I said, if you want to see Stryker get brutally mauled, Battle of the Realms has got you covered. Go on, Terry.
Vanessa Marshall.
Okay.
She was Wonder Woman in Justice League Crisis on Two Earths.
Love that movie.
A couple of characters in Mass Effect games, minor NPCs, and she was Doctress Strangelove, I think, in the Metal Gear Solid games.
Okay, that works.
She has different roles for both TVs and video games.
So basically, she went all Game of Thrones on them.
Basically.
And Shao Kahn wins in this one too. Oh wait, no, he doesn't.
No, he does not. Well, everybody, that was the Mortal Kombat Armageddon endings.
Oh boy, they were
something.
It was unique, I guess.
Alright, we're not quite done yet because, well, since this game bothered to create the creative fatality feature, I guess we might as well take a look at that now. Why don't you? Don't we? Right? So tune in next time for the final part where we take a look at the, I'm sure, incredible selection of variety and fatalities that we have in this game.
Yeah.
See ya.
See ya.